and welcome back to the Artful Chef. Miss M here, and I have my helper,
Jara.
So
That's
my Art 2 and Art 3 students this week have a challenge that I have set forth for them. They have to create a sculpture that includes 100 items. So what kind of things come in hundreds? Jara, any ideas? What things come in groups of hundreds?
I don't know. Q-tips maybe?
Q-tips, okay.
Forks. Plastic forks, I guess.
Plastic forks. What else? Spoons.
Knives.
Okay. Knives, yeah. Can you think of anything else that you can do in hundreds? What about plastic straws?
Oh, plastic straws,
yeah. So straws, package of 100. We have toothpicks. So toothpicks you can get in the 500s. So you have a lot of those.
You can get 300s in the matches.
Wow. Okay. What else is over there?
Crayons.
Is that a crayon?
I don't know. What is it? Puzzles?
It's a puzzle.
Oh,
so
puzzles.
100-piece puzzle, dollar store. Or how many of you have puzzles laying around at home that are missing pieces and you're like, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I should just throw it away. Dude, make something out of it. What else?
Plates.
Paper plates. So you mentioned crayons. You could use crayons.
Yeah.
Colored pencils. Markers. You know, markers dry out over time. I have a million markers from when I used to teach art camp in the summer that are sitting in a bucket in the garage, and I'm going to pull those out, and we're going to put those in groups of 100 and maybe use some markers.
Maybe.
So what I want you to do for this challenge this week is, oh, we forgot one thing.
What?
That you can come in hundreds.
What? Macaroni.
Pasta.
Macaroni.
So this pasta is really cool for art because it has the hollowness and it has those little points on either end, so you can make something really cool out of that.
Oh, awesome.
So what I want you to do is think of something that you have either laying around or something you could go purchase inexpensively, like these straws are like 88 cents a box at Walmart.
Cheap.
Yeah, super cheap. So if you're going to use matches, I suggest that you pre-burn the ends of them so that your project is not flammable. Safety measure.
Safety measure.
So think about what you could use. If you are an in-person student, you will have options in the classroom that you can use, and it's first come, first served. So if you're on time to class, you get to pick first. So those of you who are habitually late, you're going to get the end of the choices. So if you are a virtual student and you don't have anything that you can use at home or can't get to the store, you can always arrange to come by the classroom and pick up a package of 100 of something, and it'll just be whatever I have 100 of. So it depends on when you get there. If you come on Monday, you might get good choices. If you get there on Wednesday, you're going to get the bottom of the barrel. So moving on, there are, if you Google 100-piece projects or 100-piece sculptures, there are so many ideas out there for you. But here's the one thing that I want you to think about. You have to sketch. You have to plan ahead. You have to kind of have an idea going into it what you're going to do. So Jara has already decided what he wants to use. What are you going to use?
Q-tips.
Q-tips. And Jara, can you show us your sketch? So
I'm not good
Jara
at
has...
I'm not good at drawing, but this is supposed to be a sheep.
Jara's actually very at drawing. This was just a hurry picture. So he's going to do a sheep. So, Jara, I want you to think about, if you're going to do a sheep, can you do it with just the Q-tips, or do you need something for a form? Do you have to have something in the middle for those Q-tips to hold it all together and give it its shape?
I mean, no, not really, I guess. Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.
So, if you had something laying around the house that you could poke your Q-tips into, what do you think you could use for that?
Maybe a, teeny box or something?
A box, okay.
Maybe.
What about a piece of styrofoam?
Oh, styrofoam.
So,
Works.
you always have things laying around your house, or at least I know we always have things laying around our house that I hang on to because I'm like, ooh, I can make a craft out of that. So, I have lots of recyclable items sitting around here. So this would be a fabulous center for your sheep. You could kind of cut out the shape of the body, maybe in an oval, and it gives you something to secure your Q-tips to for your fleece for the sheep,
Mm.
okay, to stick out
Yeah.
of, right?
Honestly, I did not think about
The
that.
the other thing that I want you to think about in this project is how are you going to secure it together? How are you going to hold it together? So I have 2 hot glue guns plugged in here, one for me, one for Jara. And really, hot glue is probably the best thing to use. I don't know if it is readily available to all of you, but if you have a hot glue gun, that's going to be the. So after some brainstorming and trying to figure out what I wanted to create, I decided on a cactus out of plastic forks because I love cactus. So this is my sketch of my forks coming up together. I think I might put a little flower. I think I'm going to combine forks and spoons for my 100 items. I haven't quite figured out how many forks it's going to take, so I might need the spoons and I may not. So on my forks, I'm going to make this kind of look like a barrel cactus that comes up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try gluing my forks together like this in a row, and I'm going to do several sets. So I might do 4 in the middle and maybe 5 or 6 on the outside. But when you put the forks together like this, and you put them where they face each other like this on the outside, it's going to kind of curve in. So the tines will go out and the bottom part will face to the inside. So that's kind of where I am in my planning. Jara is cutting the ends off of his Q-tips. And as you can see, it is a little difficult to cut a Q-tip, a little more difficult than we had imagined that it would be. So he's cutting all of these tips off because his styrofoam, I'm going to reach over here and grab your styrofoam. So his styrofoam shape for his body that he's going to use, if we were to stick the cotton end into this, it's not going to work very well. So he's cutting all the ends off so that he just has the stick so he can poke it into the shape of the sheep body so that he'll have something to adhere it to. So we are going to keep working and we'll be back in just a minute to show you our progress. What I was working on. I kind of had this idea. I got sidetracked like I do and got off of my fork project, and I had this great idea for this recreation of a toy that I had in the 80s. So for those of you who grew up in the 80s, you will remember this. It was like a metal pin art. It came in a rectangle, had all these little metal pins, and you could push your hand into it, or you could put it on your face and your face would go into it. But everything that went in, the pins would stick out. It was like 3D, and whatever you didn't touch, the pins would stay in their location. So I'm going to see if I can recreate that toy by using old crayons that I'm not using anymore. And it's probably going to take more than 100 pieces. So this definitely will be over what the project is, but it just sounded like fun to do. Jara is working on his sheep steadily. He has cut all of the Q-tip ends off, so he's got just the stick part that he's putting some glue on the stick and poking it into the actual form. I'm going to hold this real quick. And so he's creating the exterior fur on his sheep. And I'm going to get back to work and not get sidetracked again and get back to work on putting my forks together for my cactus. All right, we are back and we are finished with all of our projects. Jera, would you like to show yours?
Let's go with yours first.
Go with mine first? Okay, so I have 100 items here. Part of them are my spoons and part of them are my forks. So this is my barrel cactus with the flower blooming on it. I also have, I decided to make a little sculpture out of some penne pasta. And my little extra thing that I did here, and I have not counted these crayons, so I have no clue how many are here. But this is Jera's face. I'm not sure if you can see the profile of it, but Jera put his face in this stack of crayons. So this is kind of like the little pin art thing that from the 80s that if any of you hadn't remember, we just made it out of old crayons. And last but not least,
my terrible sheep.
It is not terrible. So that's Jera's sheep. We ended up, he had to start over on it. This was the third attempt. So just keep in mind, don't get frustrated if your first try doesn't work, as Jera found out. What happened to the first piece of styrofoam?
I clumped it too much together and I couldn't fit all these on it to make wool.
Okay, and then what happened to the second one?
I kind of put it, it was too small and we put it all around and it kind of,
It exploded in your hands, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of exploded.
So we ended up going with a piece of craft foam, so that's why it's green, but that's okay, to be able to get it to stay together. So there's his little legs and his face and everything. So.
And these are falling out.
That's okay, and he's need to glue a couple pieces back in. But did you have fun, Jera?
Yes.
Was it cool?
Yes.
Yes?
It was
Do it again sometime with a different kind of material?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for your projects. Remember, turn into your sketch to one assignment, and your sketch needs to tell me what you're going to use and how you think you're going to do it, and your pictures of your finished piece in 2 different angles. One straight on, one maybe from the top or the side. So we can
or maybe
see,
under to see
or
the
maybe
legs,
under.
if you have some.
Yeah.
Like
So
mine.
anyway, have a great day, and we will see you on the next one.